We're good. Yes.
Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you all for joining us this evening. Jody, could you call the roll, please?
Dennis,
Here.
Harold,
Here.
Hollenbaugh,
Here?
Odoricio,
Here.
Phipps,
Here.
Robinette,
Here.
Sherry.
Here.
Okay, the minutes from our April Fool's Day meeting were distributed for your perusal. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have minutes. Correspondence. Jody, do we have any correspondence this evening?
We do not.
Okay. That brings us to lobby visitations. We have lobby visitations this evening.
We do. Lindsay Joe Durham.
If you could come to the microphone, give your name and address for the record.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Joe. I live at 1082 Fairview Avenue. I am here tonight as both office manager for Downtown Bowling Green and secretary of the Bowling Green Arts Council. This year's Art Walk will be held May 11th from 11 to 3 o'clock, followed by a reception at the library from 3:30 to 4:30. I'll be back May 6th to provide more details regarding the day of the event. Tonight, however, I would like to promote the community art project that is featured during Art Walk. This year, Tim Emmerich and Artie Gagne with Easy Street Cafe have generously donated many chairs for the community to decorate. As you can see here, I've brought one with me as an example of the before stage. Very much before. The community is invited to purchase a chair from the downtown office at 217 South Church Street for $10. Then you are welcome to decorate the chair however you desire, as long as it is appropriate and family-friendly. On the day of Art Walk, the community is then invited to purchase raffle tickets to vote for and have a chance to win their favorite chair. The chair that receives the most votes will win $50 in downtown dollars. The chair raffle will take place during the after party, along with the announcement of the crowd favorite. Once again, the chairs can be purchased at the downtown office at 217 South Church Street between the hours of 9 and 5. Proceeds benefit the Downtown Flower Fund. We look forward to showcasing the community's creativity. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wendy Manning.
Hi, I'm Wendy Manning. I live at 865 West Worcester Street here in Bowling Green. And just want to give you an update on BG Dog Parks. So we remain involved in the community. We had a table at the BGSU Sexual Assault Awareness event on Saturday on campus. It was a 5K run and a dog walk. We had lots of great conversations with students and community members. We're having a yappy hour it'll be our third, on May 16th at 1 o'clock at Arlen's. And so we invite the community to come join that event. We enjoy meeting with lots of dogs and dog owners, and a share of the proceeds will be donated to the BG Dog Parks group. And then finally, we're excited about the upcoming lease agreement. We're interested in collaborating with the city and building our membership in our 501(c), which we now actively have as a Friends of BG Dog Parks. And we'll look forward to partnering with everybody on this, hopefully new amenity in Bowling Green. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Lee Liebertrue.
Hi, I'm Lee Liebertrue. I live at 909 North Main Street in Bowling Green, and just want to show our support. We're absolutely thrilled that we've got the okay for the dog park. Harry's very happy to be able to have a walking park instead of having to get in our car and drive far, far away. So thank you very much for everything you've done for it.
All right, thank you.
Joe Escunce.
Hello again. I would just like to make one correction. The Yappy Hour pop-up dog park will be May 18th. That's a Saturday. So it's okay. It's okay. So as most of you know, for over 2 years now, when I decided to reach out to the council members about creating a beautifully landscaped park where people, family, and dogs could walk freely, I was actually told by a well-known person in our community that that was not going to happen. And I was baffled by this response, as many of the most progressive cities and towns that in more than 15 states that we've traveled to, they've had a dog park that was successfully run, maintained, and operated by the municipalities. So my dream and my passion for the last 2 years has been to create a space that is easily accessible to many people in this community, that would serve as a gathering place not only for dog owners, but anyone who would appreciate a large grassy area with trees and sidewalks to exercise as well as converse with their neighbors. This would include visitors to Bowling Green who need to exercise their dogs as they travel to and around our city, as is our need when we travel. So it would definitely be an asset to this community to have something that people could bring their dogs to, even not without being in the city. My children attended Ridge School, and we were sad to see it being torn down. But what has now become a beautiful playground for children in the neighborhood has also become a gray eyesore on the north side of Ridge Park. As it is grossly underused right now, I would like you to share my vision to turn this gray space into a beautiful green area that the city of Bowling Green can be proud of. Please consider my dream, the wish of many of the neighborhood residents around Ridge Park, and a large number of Bowling Green community dog owners who have already invested, donated, and volunteered many hours to bring a long-awaited dog park for the Bowling Green community. Help me to bring Bowling Green to be a more dog-friendly city and at the same time become the envy of other communities who only wish they could have a dog park like I see in my mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's everyone.
Okay. All right. That brings us to the introduction of new legislation.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
from the Finance Committee, I have 2 ordinances. First, an ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator to dispose of equipment no longer needed for municipal purposes. And second, an ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator to sign a contract with the International Association of Firefighters Local 2379 and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
I have an ordinance amending and adopting Section 31.34 of the codified ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio.
And I have a resolution and an ordinance from the Committee of the Whole. First, the resolution declaring the intent of the Council of the City of Bowling Green to adopt the federally approved Wood County Hazard Mitigation Plan as developed by the Wood County Emergency Management Agency, and an ordinance enacting and adopting the 2024 S16 supplement to the Code of Ordinances for the City of Bowling Green, Ohio. And that brings us to official reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Council. I have just a couple of items to discuss. First of all, I want to express my appreciation to all of those involved for contingency planning in advance of last week's eclipse event. You know, I'm not sure that we talked too much about that in advance of the event, but there was a significant amount of planning that took place in this community for, I think, about 2 years before the event occurred, involving a number of political subdivisions led by Wood County EMA. And most certainly there were a number of city employees and departments represented in that planning process from the very beginning, most notably our public safety services, police and fire, public works, communications, community improvement, I mean, on and on and on. It really was a team effort. And I don't know what your experience was during the eclipse, but mine was pretty exceptional. I was pretty skeptical in advance of the event because I didn't understand really what it was going to happen, I don't think. I'm not a science guy. And I couldn't understand really why people would travel far distances to observe this phenomenon. But after having seen it, it certainly exceeded my expectations, and I'm much less of a skeptic than I was before. It was just maybe one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And Bowling Green really benefited from the event. I failed to mention our parks participation in the planning, but in driving around the community in the hours leading up to the eclipse, I mean, there were a lot of people in Bowling Green. All of our parks were very well visited. In fact, they had to close Carter Park and Simpson Park because parking lots reached capacity. Great event at Bowling Green State University. Kudos to them for understanding the opportunity and organizing a really great event adjacent to the expressway. There was a ton of people in the stadium. All the parking lots were full. So again, I just want to share my appreciation to those that involved were for the planning in it. There were really no notable safety events that caused us to respond to. Traffic moved into and out of Bowling Green, I think really very well. And you could say that maybe that's because the number of people visiting were less than was originally anticipated. That might be the case, but I choose to believe that the reason it went off so seamlessly was because of the advanced planning and the professionalism of all of those involved. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who was involved in that. And second of all, it was discussed in an earlier meeting tonight, the calendar, April 15th, and the impact that that's had on the building here and some of our staff over the course of the past couple of days. And so I just wanted to share my appreciation to our income tax staff, who has been working tirelessly the last couple of days, supporting our residents as they scramble to get their taxes filed and paid. Also share that we appreciate your contribution to the city coffers. But I mean, it was incredible. I mean, Friday, I think a little bit Saturday, our folks were here. And today, I mean, literally from the door to the office, people waiting in line nearly the entire day. I think maybe one of you sitting at the front table may have experienced that today. But all of those visiting were handled in a very professional manner, as we've come to expect of that staff. But again, I just want to say how much I appreciate all the work that they did over the course of the last couple of days handling this really important function of our local government. So that's all I have, subject to any questions that you may have.
Any questions for the mayor?
Mr. President, Mike, I want to echo that. I was perhaps the one you were alluding to that was standing for, I don't know, maybe an hour. Didn't bother me so much because, it's for a good cause. But I can tell you that the people in the income tax office who are getting person after person after person were great, as usual. And also that even extended beyond. And this really warms my heart that we have that small town kind of environment where people were standing in the hallway in line. And at some point, some of them got the idea that maybe if I just, put this in the drop box, I don't have to stand in line. And so they'd go to the planning department and ask for an envelope. Something as simple as an envelope. And the people that went in for an envelope came out with an envelope so that they could use the drop box. And to me, that's what it's about. I'm assuming they weren't charged for it, but anyway, I just wanted to echo what you said, that it was handled very, very well.
Thank you. I also point out that, seeing the lines over the course of the last couple of days was kind of eye-opening to myself and others in the building. And when we mentioned that to Dana and those that were working in the income tax office, they're like, listen, this is not new to us. It's just that in the past, when in the old building, they were in the basement, we never saw them. The events of the last couple of days have pointed out one of the many efficiencies of this new building and how we are so much more efficiently and effectively serving our residents. So I was also pleased to see that, but thank you.
Anything else for the mayor this evening? All right. Municipal Administrator, Ms. Treader.
Good evening. Just one item for you this evening, requesting that council enter into an executive session to discuss a collective bargaining agreement, please.
Any questions for Ms. Treader this evening? City Attorney, Mr. Brown.
Good evening, Council. Last week, I distributed to all of you a change to the marijuana legislation that I'd previously given everyone, and Councilman Harold asked that I say a few words about that, so I will do that now. Basically, when I originally drafted the marijuana legislation, I was trying to mirror the Ohio Revised Code, but erase the confusing parts. When the new marijuana law came out, it basically said, thou may marijuana, right? But it also did not in any way repeal the old marijuana laws, which say thou shalt not marijuana, right? So we have two codes in existing right now, if you look at the Ohio Revised Code. One says you may not possess marijuana, and one says you may. Well, specifically, it's with regard to paraphernalia, it's the same. I thought this was confusing. So basically, I just eliminated the part that referenced paraphernalia, with the theory being that I would get rid of confusion. But the problem then is that if BGPD, say, wanted to cite someone for paraphernalia, they'd have to use the Ohio Revised Code to do it. And the whole goal of this was for us to have BG city codes for us to cite things for. So all the changes do is re-implement our old language about paraphernalia, but clarify that it does not apply to adult users. It's clarified in a way that I believe the Ohio Revised Code did not do and should do.
21 and older, thou shalt paraphernalia.
Thou may.
Okay. Fine, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Brown? Okay. Public Infrastructure Director, Mr. O'Connell.
Thank you. I just wanted to update you on two awards that we received from the American Public Power Association. The first was an Excellence and Reliability Award, and this is public power systems that use the e-reliability tracker. So if you're tracking your outage statistics online through their database, you're put into this pool. And if you're in the top quartile of the nation, then you're awarded this reliability award. So we placed in that top quartile, top 25% of the nation for public power systems. So that was the first one we received. The bigger one was the RP3 award. This is Reliable Public Power Provider Award. And we did achieve the diamond level. It's based on a score out of 100 points, and we received 100 points for our application. But this is larger because it covers 4 areas, really, not just reliability, but it covers reliability, safety, workforce development, and system improvements. And so you have to meet criteria in all of those categories in order to score 100. So they have different levels. If you score 98 or higher, then you're given the diamond designation. There's platinum, gold, so on and so forth. But it's difficult to achieve, and the staff really has to spend a lot of time to document their work efforts and then show that those results were realized. And it's done every 3 years. So we just received the notification that we got that award back on April the 8th. And it's a great achievement, really, for the electric division to say we're trying to do everything we can that is sort of what it would make a good public power system and provide reliable service for our customers. And so that's a really great achievement for the electric division. So that's what I have for you, unless you have questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. O'Connell?
Just congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Please relay to all those that do an exceptional job.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. That brings us to council committee reports. Any council committee reports this evening?
Yes, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
The Finance Committee met at 6:30 this evening to receive the first quarter 2024 report. As our Finance Director said in her closing remarks, year to date, there have been no surprises except for increased income tax collections, and no other issues.
Mr. President?
Mr. Harold.
The Transportation and Safety Committee met at 6 o'clock this evening to discuss possible amend by substitution for Resolution 3862. And after discussion, more discussion than I should have given personally, relied on the other two committee members to be more succinct. We did unanimously recommend to council to have the substitution resolution for Resolution 3862. When it comes time for that to be given its second reading, I will make a motion to amend by substitution that legislation, which was sent out over the weekend and you may have in front of you. And then regardless of if that passes or not, that I will make a motion to suspend the rules because we do need something to pass yet tonight. And then a motion to adopt if that passes.
Okay. Any other council committee reports? All right. Hearing none, at this time, I'm going to make a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of union negotiations. If you look at the agenda where we are, clearly we will be taking action when we return.
I second the motion to move into executive session to discuss collective bargaining.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back.
Oh, we got to vote.
Oh, we'll vote. Jody?
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Y'all can stay.
Sorry.
Wait, you may have to wait a second.
I might
Yeah,
have to wait.
something's happening.
We
I'm
need to
not quite
boot.
sure why that is happening. There. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Please ride. No, just kidding. The reading of legislation. Jody?
Legislation for first reading. Resolution number 3863, resolution declaring the intent of the council of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio to adopt the federally approved Wood County Hazard Mitigation Plan as developed by the Wood County Emergency Management Agency. Ordinance number 9190 for first reading. Ordinance enacting and adopting the 2024 S16 supplement to the Code of Ordinances for the city of Bowling Green, Ohio.
I would like to suspend the rules and give ordinance 9190 its second and third readings.
Second.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
Okay, the rules are suspended for ordinance 9190.
Ordinance number 9190 for second and third readings. Ordinance enacting and adopting the 2024 S16 supplement to the Code of Ordinances for the city of Bowling Green, Ohio.
I would move that we adopt ordinance 9190.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, Jody?
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
Hollenbaugh.
Yes, ordinance 9190 is adopted.
Ordinance number 9191 for first reading. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator to dispose of equipment no longer needed for municipal purposes. Ordinance number 9192 for first reading. Ordinance amending and adopting section 31.34 of the codified ordinances of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio. Ordinance number 9193 for first reading. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator to sign a contract with the International Association of Firefighters, Local 2379, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette?
I move to suspend the rules and give ordinance 9193 its second and third readings.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio.
Yes.
All right, the rules are suspended for ordinance 9193.
Mr. President.
Oh, we got to read it.
Oh, sorry.
Ordinance number 9193 for second and third readings. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator to sign a contract with the International Association of Firefighters, Local 2379, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette?
I move to adopt the emergency clause for ordinance 9193.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio.
Yes.
Phipps.
Yes.
All right, the emergency clause is adopted for ordinance 9193.
Yes. I now move to adopt ordinance 9193.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay. Jody?
Sherry.
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio.
Yes.
Phipps.
Yes.
Robinette.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 9193 adopted.
Legislation for second reading. Resolution number 3862 for second reading. Resolution providing for a Vision Zero commitment to eliminate fatalities and serious injuries that are a result of crashes on city streets within the city of Bowling Green by 2024.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold?
I move that we amend Resolution 3862 by substitution.
Second. Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Jody?
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio.
Yes.
Phipps.
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 3862 is amended by substitution.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold?
I move that we suspend the rules and give amended Resolution 3862 its third reading.
Second. Properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio.
Yes.
Phipps.
Yes.
Robinette.
Yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes. Okay, the rules are suspended for Resolution 3862.
Resolution number 3862 for third reading. Resolution stating commitment to continue efforts to reduce roadway deaths and serious injuries with the goal of zero roadway fatalities and serious injuries on or before 2045.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold?
I move that we adopt amended Resolution 3862.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Hollenbaugh,
Yes?
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 3862 is adopted as amended by substitution.
Ordinance number 9182 for second reading. Ordinance amending and adopting Chapter 33 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio regarding employment policies. Ordinance number 9183 for second reading. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator to enter into a lease agreement with BG Dog Parks, Inc. Ordinance number 9184 for second reading. Ordinance amending and adopting Chapter 138 regarding drug offenses and amending and adopting Section 139.10 regarding Clean Air Act of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold?
just to inform council that you received from City Attorney Hunter Brown his changes, and he gave us a rundown, a summary of those changes. This legislation does not have to pass tonight, so it's my intention, just to let you all know, to amend by substitution with what the city attorney outlined at our next meeting. So that'll give an extra time to review what he had.
Ordinance number 9185 for second reading. Ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to enter into contracts for the design, engineering, and construction of the water treatment plant membrane improvements. Ordinance number 9186 for second reading. Ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to execute an agreement with the Ohio Water Development Authority, OWDA, or the Ohio EPA Water Supply Revolving Loan Account, WSRLA program for the design, engineering, and construction of the water treatment plant membrane improvements. Ordinance number 9187 for second reading. Ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to enter into contracts for the raw water reservoir expansion study. Ordinance number 9188 for second reading. Ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to enter into contracts for the engineering, programming, and construction of substation relay improvements. Legislation for third reading. Ordinance number 9179 for third reading. Ordinance amending and adopting Chapter 155 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio regarding community investment areas.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps?
I move to adopt ordinance 9179.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh.
Yes. Ordinance 9179 is adopted.
Ordinance number 9180 for third reading. Ordinance accepting annexation of approximately 2.965 acres of land in Plain Township, Wood County, Ohio, from City of Bowling Green petitioner.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps,
I move to adopt ordinance 9180.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jody?
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 9180 is adopted.
Ordinance number 9181 for third reading. Ordinance establishing interim zoning of C commercial zoning for the approximately 2.965 acres of land located at the southwest corner of Bishop Road and North Dixie Highway, recently annexed to the city as petitioned for by City of Bowling Green.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps,
I moved to table ordinance 9181 until our next meeting on May 6th. That's the date of the public hearing on this ordinance.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Robinette,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 9181 is tabled until May 6th. Is there any other business to come before council this evening? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.